This is Millennial Money Mindset. Thanks so much for joining us. Today, we're talking about maximize savings, proven strategies to save wealth automatically. So one of the key aspects of investing your money for a better life is to have a savings habit. Bank rates have increased to 4%, which is amazing. So you can now put money into a bank and get 4% interest rate, which is incredible. We've come from a decade of next to no returns on your savings. So if you put money into a bank, you used to get next to nothing on returns. And even countries like Japan had a negative interest rate. So when you put money into a bank, you had to pay the bank for the luxury of them keeping your money. So now you put money into a bank and the bank pays you money, and it's gone up to 4%. And we've talked about in other videos why this has happened, why interest rates are increasing, mainly because of inflation. So central banks around the world have a problem with inflation, the spending power in your back pocket. And central banks have increased interest rates. This is the cost of borrowing to try and dampen, to try and to reduce inflation, the cost of borrowing, a cost of spending around the world. So inflation has reached record highs, or at least highs for the last few decades. So we're going to talk about why save, why bother saving. We're going to talk about what to do to save, what you need to do, and then essentially we'll give you a step-by-step guide to how to save. So this is Millennial Money Mindset. If you want the fruits, you need the roots. This is maybe joining us on a podcast, YouTube channel, or live on TikTok as Money Tips. My name is Neil Doig. I'm the founder of Money Tips, the author of the book Millennial Money Mindset, and I educate, empower, and give you the tool to save, spend, and invest better. So thanks so much for joining us. Please like, please subscribe, and please tell a friend if you want more money in your pocket, more time in your day, and more happiness in your life. So why save? Why even bother? So saving is the key to a better life. So you're saving for tomorrow. So think of it like you're storing money for tomorrow. So this key principle of financial literacy is to earn more than you spend. So I have a game called Football Formation Asset Allocation, and one of the key principles in this game is a card game to teach you how to invest better. It's you have to score more goals than you concede. So think of it like a football game. By scoring more goals than you concede throughout your life, you're going to be winning the game of investing. And just think how good it feels when you score a goal, and that kind of rush of endorphins, that kind of the pleasure chemical gets released when you score a goal in football or in any team sport. That great feeling you feel like when you score a goal, that's like when you're saving money, that kind of great feeling you get when you're saving money. And think when you concede a goal, if you've ever been in a cup final, for instance, and you're 1-1 at extra time and the other team score a goal against you, that kind of gut feeling that you have in your stomach, that you're like, oh no, we've conceded a goal. That's the feeling that you get when you concede more money than you score. So if you're at the moment where you're spending more than you're saving, then you're more likely to have this feeling in your stomach, where this kind of horrible feeling that money's leaving your pocket. And this is why we as a country are feeling so bad at the moment, because we are saving record. It's terrible compared to China, Japan, and other countries around the world. We've got, as a country, the UK has a horrible savings record, how much money we're saving. And there's kind of crazy statistics about there's 11.5 million people in the UK who has less than £100 in savings, which is kind of crazy, which is why mental health so high at the moment, why we're feeling so bad. So especially for millennial generations, where money worries tops the poll as the biggest cause of stress and worry. And one of the ways to reduce this stress and worry is the habit of saving money. And we're going to this is exactly what we're going to teach you today in this podcast, this YouTube channel, and this TikTok. So building wealth is all about saving money over the long term. So many people think that investing is about kind of picking this one company that's going to kind of go to the moon, which is going to make you loads of money. Actually, when I was working as a financial advisor, I've spoken to hundreds of people, interviewed them, kind of built life plans, kind of worked out how they built their wealth. And most of them, 99% of these people, had all a regular savings habit. This is kind of habits they've kept as kids, and it's built through their adult life, just saving that money, building up that capital that will eventually pay you more than your job. And that's the whole aim of the game with investing. The aim of the game is to build up enough assets they're going to pay you an income so you can choose to work. You have that choice where you can go to work for joy, or because you want to do that work, or because it's a passion of you. So you have that option to go to work for joy rather than working for necessity. And that's all based on the principles of saving. So that's saving habits. And for so long, for over a decade now, there's been no reward for actually saving money. So you're putting money into a bank, and that's been getting eroded by inflation. But the good news is that actually now that there's a decent interest rate, 4% is pretty good. We're back to the old days of the 1990s and 2000s. When I first started investing money, I used to get excited about putting money into a bank account and actually seeing that check get sent to you for an interest rate check. If you put £100, £1,000, and even more, and used to get money paid back to you just for the fact of having that money sit in a bank account, and that money working harder for you than you would be in a job. I was probably on a minimum wage when I first started saving. So that money was actually getting paid, was getting more money from saving money than actually working at a part-time job. And today, many people have been worried about the rate of interest rates rising, because it's going to have a knock-on effect in the economy. If you're paying a mortgage, if you've borrowed money to buy a house, then this is bad news for you, because if you're on a variable rate of mortgage, this is going to the amount you pay back to borrow that money is going to go up because of the interest rates have gone up. And if you are, for instance, if you want to borrow money to start a company, or many companies who want to borrow money to expand, that cost of borrowing has increased with the rate of interest rates increasing. But if you're a saver, this interest rate rise is great news. So building wealth is about saving money over time rather than picking individual companies. And it's really building up that compound interest. And with the interest rates rising, this is great news for compound interest. So I had a look, go online and go to a compound interest calculator. Either do it now or do it later. So I had a quick Google. There's loads of compound interest calculators out there. Just for an example, if you've got £20,000 invested in a bank paying 4% interest rate, just the rate of the base rate, the Bank of England base rate of 4%, if you put that money away for 30 years and you pay a deposit, if you put £400 of your savings in every month, that amount is going to go over 30 years. It's going to increase £343,000. So imagine that. So that £20,000 initial investment plus your deposit, how much you put in each month, that's going to increase at the end of that 30 years. That's going to be worth £343,000. And the real kicker, the real exciting bit, is the amount of interest on that £343,000 is £149,000. So £179,000 of that £343,000 is purely interest earned on that money. And that's just putting your money into a bank, which is absolutely incredible. So I just picked those numbers just off the top of my head, but play around with it yourself. Go online and have a play around with a compound interest calculator and see how much money you're going to be making over the long term. So this is great news. So you have more choices more options. You can have more time with your friends, your family, or simply having more me time. You can have more holidays, more experiences, go and have more hobbies. This is all what happens when you save money. When you have enough money that pays you an income so you don't need to work, this is impacting your lifestyle. And when it comes down to it, lifestyle, apart from your health and family, lifestyle is all we want in life. So a better life is for living, and having that savings habit where you have enough of a savings buffer that even the worst things can happen in life and you'll be all right because you've got this savings built up. I think of it a bit like not saving money, but storing money. You're storing money for the future. So you want to be either the three things you can be doing with money. You can either spend it, you can either save it, or you can invest it. So the idea is to build up this, storing this cash into a bank. And then once you have enough of a emergency fund, then you can start investing it into higher risk assets, putting money into the stock market. Maybe you can lend that money out in the form of bonds. You're lending money to governments or corporations, companies, or you can buy a property, for instance. And this is all the principles of investing. And this bank interest rate rise has now given you even more incentive to start saving your money. So turn your money into a money-making machine. So turn that savings into a money-making machine. And this is the power of compound interest. And compound interest is the interest on your interest. So you're going to be, with this interest rate rise, you're going to get paid by a bank each month. And at the end of that year, you'll have that amount of savings plus the amount of interest that the bank will pay you. And then the next year, that bank will pay you interest on your interest. So for instance, if you save £100 and you get £104, you get £4 back on that interest you've earned. The next year, you're going to be earning £104 in interest. So 4% paid on that £104. And then the next year it will be £109, or 4% paid at £109. And it's going to build up and build up. Like, just think of it like a snowball. Over time, it builds up, builds up, builds up. And that's exactly what compound interest does. And for so long, over a decade, many people didn't bother saving. We didn't have that savings habit because it just wasn't worth our time putting money into a bank, because we were getting next to nothing back on our interest. But now this bank interest rates rise has meant that it's going to give us an incentive to start saving again. And this is great news. So save, the three things of money: save, spend, or invest, and build up that capital. So this capital is all about, think of it like that snowball analogy. It's about building up over time, build and build and build. And it's going to get easier and easier and easier the more capital, the principle that gets built up over time, because then compound interest starts working for you. So, and then the idea, the aim of the game is to have enough assets paying you an income, so to replace your income. In the old days, they called that retirement. Today, it's a new world. It's a new game that we're playing, and the old rules of retirement are dead, and we have to learn the new rules of this new world we're living in. So there's been a number of different legislations that have come in: pension freedoms and pension auto enrollment. And this has blown open the doors of what we can do with a pension. And it just simply means that today you have to own yourself first. You are an investor, and you have to understand how to invest your own money. So that's really the idea. So essentially about why to save money. So to give you more time, give more experiences, more choices in your life. So what is saving? So saving is putting off today so you can have more tomorrow. And that's essentially what saving is. It's like storing money. You're storing money for the future, so your future self can live an easier life. So your future self can have more choices. Your future self can have more time in their day to enjoy life and live life to its full potential. So think of it a bit like, think of it like another analogy is storing food. So you don't want to have in the middle of lockdown, when people were worried about how do we get, when there was supply chain issues and there was not much food on the supermarket shelves. If you had a full fridge, if you had a full freezer, if you had a full cupboard of food, then your stress and worry will be much less than if someone during this lockdown, when the supermarkets were bare, you'd be much more stressed than someone, you'd be much less stressed than someone with an empty fridge, an empty freezer, and an empty cupboard of food. Those kind of the fight or flight or freeze kind of the emotion would kick in much more if you had no food in your house compared to someone who had a full house full of food. And it's exactly the same with savings. So if you have a full bank account of savings, you have a full investment portfolio, you top up your ISA every year, and you have a healthy pension, then you're going to be much less stressed. You're going to be much less worried, and if you're going to be much less worried and stressed if the worst things can happen, if you lose your job, if the car breaks down, if the landlord kicks you out, for instance, or if you've got a full bank account, if you've got a full investment ISA allowance, if you've got a pension that's pretty healthy. So it's the same thing with, so food and savings are very similar. So you might be thinking, Neil, how do I do this? I get to the end of the month, and every month I have nothing left at the end of the month. Then one of the best ways to do this is automate your savings. So automation is the single biggest secret that I tell people when I give them money coaching, because it's so easy, but so many people aren't doing this. So I have a course called Automate Your Finances to give me more me time. And this is a real simple course. It's about 35 minutes long. It can be done in a lunch break or after work. And it will teach you how to automate your savings. And it's about setting up your bank account so that you save automatically as soon as you get paid, paying yourself first, and then you reduce your stress and worry around investing. You don't have to think or worry about it. So many people I've met are like, go and physically take money out of the cash point and go and hand it into the bank, or physically transfer money each time at the end of the month. And it's fine for the first couple of times, but you're going to get 3-4 months down the line, and something's going to come up. You're going to be busy at work, or you're going to want to go out and spend time with your partner, or your kids are going to be, you want to take your kids to the park, and you're going to forget how to transfer this savings. If you automate it as soon as you get paid, then you don't even have to think, worry, or stress about it. For me, it was a massive epiphany, and I keep telling people this, and I still meet people that aren't doing this. So for me, it literally it can take you like 10 minutes, it can take you 20 minutes. And once you have enough an emergency fund built up, enough cash buffer built up, then you automate your investments so you don't have to think about it. And you can do this, it's just simply tracking the stock market. And historically, you go back hundreds of years, this is going to grow at 7-8%, which is much more than you're getting in a savings account, even at 4%. And it's so simple, but so many people aren't doing this. So another secret that I tell people is a way to save is the 50, 30, 20 principle. So this is a 50, spend or save 50. The secret is save 50% in needs, so 30% for your wants, and 20% for an investment. So save 50% of your needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% for your investment. So what do I mean by this? So spend you get a pay packet when you get paid. 50% of that pay packet should be going into your needs. This is your housing costs. This is your food costs. This is your transport to work. These are the things you need. These are the things you need to survive. You're not going to be able to live without food. You're not going to be able to live without paying your water bill. You're not going to be able to live without paying your heating bills. These are your needs. This is 50% of your pay packet needs to be allocated for your needs. then 30% of your pay packet needs to be going to your wants. This is your kind of luxury. This is your kind of holidays that you want to spend on. This is your, potentially this is buying a car or buying like nice clothes, for instance. And that's 30% of your pay packet should be going into wants. And then 20% of your money should be going into your investments. So the good news is, if you work at a job, you're auto enrolled into your pension. So you don't have to worry about adding this for your pension. So half the battle is already done, but 20% of it some of your money should be allocated towards savings, putting money automatically into your savings account. Some of your money should be going into your investment accounts, and you should be investing in yourself. You should be buying books to improve yourself. You should be buying books like Millennial Money Mindset. It costs £12. And how much are you getting paid? Some people are getting paid £50,000 and they're not investing they won't invest £12 in a book and 90 minutes of their time to improve how they invest. So this is improving yourself, or going on a course, or going on we have an accelerator program that we run 2 times a year, or we have a membership package where it costs £1 a day. It works out to be £1 a day to improve your life. And this, you get into a members area with loads of courses, loads of free tools, and all my best stuff basically is held in this members area. And it costs £1 a day, which is £37 a month, or works out to be £365 a year just to invest in yourself. And so this is huge. So I used to charge tens of thousands of pounds when I was a FCA regulated financial advisor. How much do universities charge? They charge £9,000 a term to pay for your education. And so Money Tips membership course is £1 a day over a year, £365 which is huge amounts of value. So I build Money Tips on giving huge amounts of value to people. So if that sounds interesting to you, go to moneytips.org. Money Tips is spelled with 2 P's. Moneytips.org, or send me a message if you're watching this on YouTube. Just say yes, and I can reach out to you directly. If you're listening on the podcast, just go to moneytips.org, or go over to Millennial Money Mindset, either the YouTube channel or the podcast, and just send me a message. And I'm pretty friendly. I reach out to anyone who comments. I reach out to people and reply to their comments. So send me a message. If you've got a question, send me a message and I'll do my best to answer it. So the saving habits of millionaires. So I used to work as a financial advisor, and I used to create life plans around investing strategies for these millionaires. And essentially every millionaire I've met, they had the saving habit. They have the habit of saving. Mostly this is putting off saving. Habits of saving is putting off today for tomorrow. So it's delaying that gratification. And there's huge amounts of studies that have been done about this. So if there was a study done, I believe it was Stanford University, and they did a study with marshmallows, and they did a study with children, and basically they said, they put a marshmallow in front of these children, and they said, basically, don't eat the marshmallow for 15 minutes. And if you can hold off, if you can delay this gratification of not eating this marshmallow for 15 minutes, we'll give you 2 marshmallows. So essentially it's delaying this gratification, not eating the marshmallow for 15 minutes, and then you'll get more in return if you have that patience to wait, and you'll get 2 marshmallows in return. And basically they studied and tracked these children over time, and they basically found out that the most successful people, the people that are most likely to have more savings or more investments, who had kind of higher education results, better grades at school, better qualified jobs, higher income. These were all the children at the time who could delay that gratification, and they would get the 2 marshmallows rather than eating that marshmallow right away. And so that was a really interesting study. And it's exactly the same with savings. If you can delay that gratification, put that money away, and knowing that in 5-10 years time, you're going to get much more back in the future, this is huge. And this is going to set you up for life. And that's going to build up over time and going to make your life easier. It's all about making your life easier. It's all about having more experiences, more time in your day to have more time with your friends, more time for your family, or more me time. So make savings easier, automate it. So sign up for my course. So why are we so bad at savings? So we as a country are so bad at savings compared to, look at the savings rate in China, look at the savings rate in Japan. And some other European countries are much better at saving than here in the UK. So we often feel like saving is a sacrifice. So we think that we're losing out by short term by putting this money away. But it's not. It shouldn't be a sacrifice. You're putting this money away and it's going to grow over time. My book, Millennial Money Mindset, the title, the subtitle is, if you want the fruits, you need the roots. You need these roots initially. And it doesn't seem like much, but these roots are going to grow into trees. And these trees are going to provide fruit for you to live on. Shelter in the summer, shelter from the sun in the summer, going to provide a shelter from the rain in the winter, and it's going to provide fruits in the autumn when you go to harvest the fruits or the income or dividends in the future. So I love analogies. Hopefully that analogy works for you. So yeah, we're so bad at saving because we're spending our money on things for pleasure. So if we want that marshmallow straight away. We want that cookie. We want that, that instant gratification. We want to go out. We want to buy the delivery pizza because it comes right to our door, rather than spending our time by cooking the pizza for ourselves and saving money. And if we can not want things instantly, then we can save so much money. We can, think ahead, future Neil or future you. You're going to think, and you can say, buy shopping in advance, or buy that pizza in advance, rather than kind of having that need instantly, where you want that instant pizza within 20 minutes delivered to your door. You're going to save so much in the long term. So this podcast. Yeah. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Hopefully you can start building up to save over time. And let's have a look at, there's so many good opportunities out there. I was doing some research on the best savings rate, and the best savings rate I saw was you can now get a 7% 12 months fixed. So if you want to lock up your money for 12 months, you can now get a 7% interest rate on First Direct, which is amazing. This would be unheard of when base rate was zero or next to nothing. You can get, if you look at, even heard of this RCA Bank, but you can get 4.25 fixed if you want to lock up your money for 5 years. Not necessarily recommend. This is not recommending, but this is just, I'm just giving you some information here. Leeds Building Society, that's an 18-month. Maybe you don't want to lock up your money for 18 months, but that's 4.15. Let's find some other ones. So Paragon Bank, I haven't even heard. You want to lock up your money for 2 years. That's a 4% fixed rate there. Let's try and find, these are all some. There's a variable rate. So Leeds Building Society is 3.7% variable. So this means if the Bank of England raise their interest rates again, that will go up. Reduce the interest rates, that will go there. Variable rate is. And then there's Skipton Building Society. It's a 2.9% variable rate there. No, you're not locking that's a no notice period. You're not locking. Interest rate is variable. There's huge opportunities. Search around. If you've been with your bank for a while, see if you can, if you can switch your bank and get higher interest rates, thinking long term. And some banks even give a bonus to join. So there's huge amounts of opportunity. And maybe if you want me to go into more detail, I can let you know what the best rates would be to save you time. Let me know, and I can do that. I can give you, I can essentially give you the rates. Give you the options of the best rates for you to give you the best interest rates over the long term. So let's summarize. So saving is good. The interest rates has gone up. This is good news for savers. With the inflation rate being high, your money's still getting eroded. If inflation's still at 10%, your money's still getting eroded, but maybe it's not as much as it was when interest rates was at close to zero. So save money, automatically and build wealth. That's the main message of this podcast, this YouTube channel. If you can save money automatically, then you're winning. You're winning already. And it's going to free up loads of time in your day. It's going to free up loads of space in your mind. You're going to that capacity to think. It's going to happen automatically. And it's going to give you joy when you see in a year's time you've got, if you save £400 every month at the end of the year, that's going to happen automatically. You haven't even thought about that, and you've saved that automatically, and you're going to have interest on that, which is going to be incredible. So hopefully that's helped out. So think of it saving. So building wealth is about saving over time rather than picking that individual stock. That's the secret of wealth. So turn your savings into a money-making machine and use that power of investing, using that power of compound interest that's going to generate savings for you. This is what I'm all about. So yeah, if this has been helpful, please like, please subscribe, and please tell a friend. This is Millennial Money Mindset. So there are 3 things you can do with money. You can save it, you can spend it, you can invest it. And it's the aim of the game is to build up enough capital that's going to pay you an income so you don't need to work, or you can choose to work rather than having that necessity to go to work. You don't have to wake up on a cold Monday morning in the winter and go traipse into central London through the rush hour to sit at a desk to do tasks that your boss has told you to do. That's all about being financially independent. Once you're financially independent, that's essentially having enough assets that are going to pay you an income so you don't need to work, to replace your income. And the next point was how to do this. So essentially split your money in between 50% needs. This is your needs, how to survive. This is the roof over your head. This is the food on your table. This is the lights that you turn on to see at night. That's the needs that you 50%. Allocate 50% of your income for that, 30% on your needs. This is your luxury. This is your kind of your fancy cars or your high cost of clothes, or potentially this is your luxury holidays. Then 20% of your income into investment. So this is into savings, into an ISA, for instance, into your you can top up your pension or invest in yourself. Buy a book, buy Millennial Money Mindset, join a course, join our membership package, or go to Udemy. I've got a course on Udemy. Just search, go on my website, moneytips.org, and go to the course section and just take that. I think it's the cost of a pizza to learn how to invest. It's never been simpler, easier, or less time to invest. And this is investing in yourself to give yourself, think of it's like compound interest. Learning how to invest and improving yourself. Education is like compound interest. It's going to build up over time. So have a saving habit of a millionaire, and have a habit every month of putting off for today and building up for a better tomorrow. So making savings easier by automating your savings is going to make your life so much easier. And it's about freeing up your time to spend more time with your friends, your family, and having more me time. And it's not about sacrifice. It's actually about, or reducing your pleasure. It's actually about thinking about what actually is going to bring you happiness in life. And all the studies show that actually the experiences, having time with your friends and your family, actually is what brings happiness. It's not about buying material things. It's not about having a flash car or having kind of the designer labels. It's about having, it's about deciding what brings you happiness. And that's what I found, that's what I essentially learned on when I was writing my book, Millennial Money Mindset. It was designed to be the ultimate investing guide. And I think it is. I don't think there's any book out there that's better. Maybe I'm biased, but it came down to, I got halfway through it, I think actually life's more about happiness than kind of having more money. So check it out. It's on Amazon. For every book bought, every new book bought, we plant a tree. And a tree planted creates £7 worth of economic benefits to the environment. So either economically through environmental factors, like it clears the air, and it does great things like reduce flooding around the world. So that's the power of planting trees. And we do that for every book bought. So this has been Millennial Money Mindset. If you want more money in your pocket, more time in your day, and more happiness in your life, then subscribe to our channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on a podcast, or if you're watching this on TikTok, please subscribe. Please just press that like button. It helps us out to share with more people. And tell a friend, send this link to a friend if you want someone else who wants to join you on the investing journey, or if you think that this will benefit someone to have more savings, to build up a savings pot, send this to a friend, someone, a family, or your partner, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. Yeah, send this, and it's going to help more people in the long term. My name is Neil Doig. I'm the founder of Money Tips. Money Tips is the acronym Tax, Investment, Property, Pension, Savings. And we're different. We offer money coaching, financial guidance, not financial advice, and we empower you to make your own decisions with money. And we can save tens of thousands of pounds, if not hundreds of thousands of pounds, over your investing lifetime by reducing your fees in financial advice fees. So yeah, thanks so much for joining us. Hopefully this has been useful. This has been Maximise Savings, proven strategy to save money automatically. So please like, please subscribe, and please